Hi, I'm Danielle Pai, and today's message is for those who are dating or in a long-term committed relationship. But these principles apply in any setting for communicating better with friends, with family, with colleagues. And today we're talking about matching words with actions and matching words with emotional needs and expectations. So for today, the old adage, actions speak louder than words, does not apply. We want consistency with our words and actions. Why? Well, in a relationship, it's to build trust. If somebody consistently says, I will be there for you and you can count on me, but they never follow through, they always let you down, what happens? Well, that trust in that person crumbles. And when that trust crumbles, you're less likely in a committed relationship to want to work through the problem spots. So the commitment also starts to crumble. When you match your words with your actions, you're showing respect for the other person. You're showing a commitment to the relationship by following through. And the other person is going to feel emotionally safe when there is consistent behavior over time, knowing, hey, I can always count on this person to be there for me. Now, I'm going to give some examples. If you hear the words, you're the only person for me, and they love bomb and they call and text and they can't get enough of your time, and then they ghost you, and you might call or text and you don't hear anything. And over a period of time, you wonder, are we even still in a relationship? Did they break up with me? So there has to be a consistency in the communication and an agreement for the communication because people's communication needs are even different. Some people will text and call every day, and some people say, with our schedules, let's just commit to talking once during the week and getting together on the weekend. Another one you might hear, I don't want a serious relationship. And yet, the love bombing, they want constant attention, intimacy, showing that they're there, leaving the partner really confused. Like you say you don't want this, but you act like you do. I don't know where we stand. Another example. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, but yet, when there are conversations around marriage, home, dreams, whether to have children, the goals, those conversations don't happen. Oh, let's not worry about that. Let's just enjoy ourselves. So there's an inconsistency. Or, I want to work through our issues because you're important to me. And yet, when you bring up those issues, there's a lot of criticism, there's some stonewalling, you avoid having those discussions. So the person saying, I want to work through our issues is never present to work through them. And one more example. I support you. This is a big one because it's easy to say I support someone. It's harder to follow through and ask that person, well, I support you, and how can I support you? What do you need versus what I think you need? So the flip side of that might be criticizing someone's decisions, looking for the worst case scenario and pushing their ideas on you. So some better approach is if you say, I'm going to be there for you, showing up, having the hard conversations when you need to, being consistent in your behaviors. If you make a promise, following through on the promise. Now, part two of this is a little trickier. This is words and expectations. Sometimes we say what we don't need and expect our partners to be mind readers. So, for example, I'll give some. I think we should break up when you have a fight. You have this knee-jerk reaction like, oh, we're not getting along, I should break up. And then you expect the other person to run after you. So you didn't really want to break up. You want them to show how much they care about you and come running after you. Now, the surprise comes if you say, I want to break up, or even worse, if you're married and you say, I want a divorce, and the person says, okay, where does that leave you? Like, that's not what I wanted. But the other person felt like, okay, that's what you want. So making sure the words match the expectation. So instead, you might say, I need a little space right now. I'm angry, but can we talk about this tomorrow after we've kind of cooled down a bit? So, another example, if you're having a disagreement, leave me alone. And the person is okay, and they leave. And then you wonder, how could you abandon me when I'm so upset? Well, you said to leave you alone. Match your emotional needs with your words. Again, asking for some space, saying that you want to work through the issue, but you need to cool down a little bit. Here's a fun one. I don't want anything for my birthday. And when you get nothing, getting really, really annoyed. Or I don't care where we go to eat. And then you end up somewhere you don't want to be, like a fast food place when you wanted Italian or Greek food. And then you wonder, how come my partner doesn't know that I don't like this food? Why would he pick this place? So instead saying, hey, I'm pretty open, but I'm kind of feeling like maybe these few options. What do you think? I'm fine. You seem upset. No, I'm fine. And then you expect the partner to know. And when you finally get around to it, you might say, oh, you know what you did. They never do. They almost never do. So you have to tell them, I am not fine. I am feeling emotionally vulnerable. I'm feeling whatever you're feeling. This is what I need. And one more example. Oh, do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm pretty sure you do. So come to an understanding that maybe over time you anticipate each other's needs, but think how much easier it is to get to that point where you know each other really well when you match your words with your emotional needs. So again, we do this sometimes to see if our partner can read our minds. Sometimes we say, oh, I don't care because we don't want to come across as being too needy. And we're worried that, oh, if I'm too needy or too clingy or too this or too that, that person is going to leave me. And it dismantles kind of that secure relationship. Sometimes we don't express our needs because we fear we're going to let someone down. It's so much easier to sweep it under the rug and say everything's fine. And sometimes we just feel unworthy of expressing what we want and need. So trying instead clear communication, express your needs kindly, and I invite you to see my video on compassionate communication, which I'll have in the description of this episode. In short, let your words and actions match. Let your words match your emotional needs and expectations. It will go a long way to forming more trust and commitment in your relationship. Thanks for joining me.